Springtime is here. See the Mayaples? You got the trillium coming up. Right there, the little purple flowers. We have a lot of those in the area. They're actually an endangered species, or so they're called, but we get a ton of them. Mayaples all over. We're just gonna poke around up through here, up through the woods here, and see if we can find any morels or other good mushrooms. It's that time of year, so then we're gonna head up to that bedrock area and see if we can get some gold. Okay, here we go. Well, we made it. Took a little while. I had to stop and take a couple breaks. Been a little under the weather lately. Started Friday night. I was going to come up camping. I had this big adventure planned, some melitectin way up there on the mountain. There's a site way up there, and I was going to camp out and do some prospecting, but Saturday I was pretty sick, so here we are out on Sunday. I'm not feeling the best, but here we are. Got to get out to kick that stuff, you know. Kick that cold. We're going to try that today by just being out in nature. As you can see, the water level is low. That's kind of why I chose to bring you can see it over there. I got the hand dredge on the backpack. Work these cracks over here. Remember I showed you before that crack in there, and there's a few down in here and whatnot. We're going to work that area and maybe take a bunch of that stuff off and run it through the sluice. I wasn't going to bring the sluice today, but I got that gravity mat at the bottom of my sluice now, and I just had to check that out and see how it runs with that stuff below the VDR. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna take a little break here and have a drink and relax for a minute, and then we'll get to it. Okay, beautiful day though. All right, we worked these cracks a little bit. This one just ends right there. You can probably see that, just ends right there. This one ends right there, but there's a bit of a hole. I got pretty much everything out of there that I could get with my hand. So in just a minute, we're gonna go get the hand dredge and work that material up with that thing. Then I got this one up here. This isn't much of a crack, but it had a bunch of little catches in it. So we're gonna suck all that up with the hand dredge too and see what we get out of there. Testing, audio check. Drop my phone in the creek. Testing. Well, you really can't see it, but this crack turned out to be a pretty good one. I mean, not as far as gold, I don't know that yet, but I worked some rocks out of here, and it ended up being pretty deep down in there, and it extends all the way back into here. I know there's a little bit of glare. Let me see if my glasses help a little bit. Not really. Wish you could see that a little better, but I started off with the bigger end on the dredge and sucked out all the big stuff, and then I went to the small one. Once I got the material away from those bigger pieces of rock, they kind of came loose. So sometimes, let me just talk about this for a minute. Sometimes, especially if you frequent the area, if it's close to home and you like to prospect there, sometimes you don't want to pull all those pieces of the bedrock out. You actually just want to clean the material out that you can and leave it be. If it feels stable, if it seems stable, leave it there, because next few floods might bring in some gold again. If you work all those pieces out, when you come back, there's no crack there for the gold to settle into. So sometimes if the bedrock is stable in there, I leave it there. I just work the crack and I leave it alone. But if the pieces are loose, I take them out of there and get all the material out. Okay, that's just a little tip for New York gold anyway. Try to keep those cracks there that seem stable. Don't pry them out with a pry bar and stuff. I've made that mistake before. Okay, just a beautiful day. All right, we got the sluice set up here. And you might notice if you watch my videos before, I got a little bit of different setup. I got myself a little bit of slick plate there, and I took some of that signboard that's under there, and I did just like my cleanup sluice. The signboard starts back in here, and I just ramped that rib matting right down to the body of the sluice. And I got the gravity mat in the bottom. And I don't know if you watched my testing of that gravity mat, but I didn't really run it quite correctly. I was feeding it right in here, which isn't really correct. There was no time for the lights to wash off first. So to me it looks like it's it's running pretty darn good. Now I got some material over here that's kind of close to what we would run through there, classified out. This is just natural dirt sitting here. We'll throw a scoop of it on here and watch and see what happens. Peels off there, not too bad. There's a bigger stone, but that's working really nice there. I don't know if you can see that, but it's doing the same thing as before. The first one would clear out, and the second and third one would hold the material for just a bit, and then it trickles down through. Got about 1/4 of a bucket here. This is everything that we got from the cracks over there with the hand dredge and the scoop and whatnot, and we're gonna push this through here and see if we get any gold. Funny thing is, just that little bit of light sand I put on, there's already black sand in the box. Just from right here. There's so much black sand in New York. Oh, look at that poor crayfish over there. He's upside down and wiggling his legs. Let's see if we can save him. Poor guy. What's the matter, buddy? Are you too old? You dying or what? You don't feel good? Too damn cold for you or what? Maybe he's just an old one. Ain't gonna make it. We'll put him in there like that. See if he comes to and crawls away, but he's not looking good. Hang in there, buddy. It'll be all right, or not. All right, we got that stuff from those cracks over there pushed through the box. I see one little tiny flake in there. Not much anything else. All we can do is hope that a bigger piece got by and went down in there, but I don't see anything in there. How's that crayfish doing? Yeah, he's still hanging out over there. Not sure if he's gonna make it. Okay, so the next plan, those cracks are worked out pretty good. So what we'll do is go down there and work some of that material up. Got some turkey buzzards flying around. They actually live down there. There's an old silo down there by those pine trees, an old farm. And the old fellow down at the bottom of the creek there, he told me that place was in operation until the 1960s. I didn't know that. I thought it was gone a long time before that. But yeah, those buzzards live down in that silo. They keep flying around, but what they're doing is trying to catch a scent. I don't know if you guys know this, but they're the only, or one of the only, birds in North America that actually can smell. Fun fact right there. A lot of people don't know that. They're flying around looking for something to smell, looking for something to eat. That's why you see them getting way up high in those currents. They can smell parts per billion, and they'll catch a scent on the breeze and hover around it until they can actually see or locate their meal better, and then they go down and find it. But yep, one of the only birds in North America, if not the only bird in North America that can smell. So remember, we were all told when we were younger to don't touch baby birds in the nest because the parents will smell you and then they'll forfeit and give the baby birds up. Not true. Most of those birds, or all of them, can't smell. All right. I almost fell asleep sitting here. I better get up and get over there and start digging. That's what we'll do. Okay, that was the first bucket from over there. It was all just really light, mucky stuff. I don't see any new gold, of course. I wouldn't expect any. So now we know that once you get down below the stones, it just turns into muck. We'll try to just skim that top layer of stone off there, throw it through the classifier into the bucket, push that through and see what happens. Well, there's actually more material here to run than what I thought. Down here the mucky layer starts, and I think it kind of inclines up that way, but looks like we got a whole bunch of material there we can run. Down in here when I dug it, just got really mucky. Maybe it's more pushed up through here in the direction that the current travels. We got a half a bucket right here, ready to go. I'm going to take that over the sluice and push it through, see what happens. All right, I got that bucket pushed through there. I didn't see any new gold, not much black sand at all. Maybe that's just not the spot over there. I did find that bigger flake over there last time we were here, but doesn't mean there's more. You know, you'd think just work that bedrock in, but I worked it a little bit and it's just all muck on top of it and it just doesn't look good, no gold. So I could pick around over in there, but I'm not sure I'm gonna. I don't know, maybe. But I got my sluice box running about perfectly. I'm really enjoying how it's set up. It's running really good. Let's take a look at this gravity mat. It is holding a few bigger stones in behind there, but everything is working around really good. I think that's a great replacement for my miner's moss and expanded metal. The VDR is working perfectly as usual. I do see a couple little specks up there on the map, but that's what we got out of those cracks. I'm thinking about shifting my focus over to here. This is the inside bend here, and you see that big rock. It's a big one. Big steel nail that I picked up and leaned up in there last time I was here. That crayfish, he's about dead. Poor guy, he's not making it. But generally, so I thought about working over in here, and generally you don't work right behind the boulder. There's just too much turbidity, too much current in there. It blows everything out. So what you do is just move down where everything starts collecting again. We'll take a bucket out of here and see what we get. All right, stay tuned. So what I've done, remember I said I was going to take a bucket from behind that rock. I did. Nothing, it didn't look very good at all. Not much black sand. And I took some more test pans here and there and way down low and a little bit of black sand, and I got up here, and just like last time, there's more black sand up in here. So I got a bucket there that's ready to run. I'm gonna go down and take that through the sluice, throw that one through too, and see if we get any gold. I do see 2 or 3 specks in there that are still in there, so at least we weren't skunked today. But I don't know how much more I have left in me. Maybe another bucket after this one. Let's see what this one has. Okay, well, I pushed those next 2 buckets through and I didn't see any new gold. A lot of black sand in there though. I'm sure you can see it. All those cells are full of it. But that's about all I'm gonna get out of me today. It's a beautiful day, but I just ain't got no energy today. So, gonna do this cleanup, see what little bit of gold we got in there. Maybe we had a bigger piece sneak down lower, but I don't think so. We'll see. Had a good time though. Beautiful area. All right, let's let this run a little bit and clean out a little bit, and then we'll do a cleanup and see what gold we got. Stay tuned. Well, we actually did better than what I thought we did. I'd pull it back a little better, but the gold keeps floating around in my pan. So let me just show you a few here. I mean, you might not be able to see them, but there's like 4 or 5 in there, and there's little teeny tiny ones spread all the way out through there. We probably got, I don't know, 15 pieces in there. A lot of them are little tiny specks, but that's okay, it's still gold. So I'm gonna have to take this home and get some jet dry in there so the gold doesn't float, and then we'll collect it and see how much we got. All right, let's get ready for the hike out of here. Beautiful day though. There's another delicacy you can find in the woods. Those are all leeks, kind of like a wild onion, but they're pretty good. I'm gonna get a few of those to take home. Yep, they're pretty good. I'm back down where I park before I walk up in. But if you watch my previous videos, I've always pointed up at the hills and said that that's all glacial moraine. Well, thought I'd just stop here and show you. All the way up there, I don't know if you can see that. You try to zoom in without being too shaky here. See all the stones in it? That's all glacial moraine. Yep. All the way up that creek. That's why the gold's in here. Glacial moraine. Alright, we made it home. A lot of glare right here. I don't know if we're going to be able to see this gold. Got more than what I thought. Can you see it in there? Let me get my finger in there and maybe zoom a little better here. There's a few right there. A bunch of little ones. Up here there's a bunch of little teeny tiny ones. The camera can't pick some of those up, but we didn't do as bad as what I thought we did. Not too bad. Got a piece stuck in there too. Alright, we'll get all that sucked up, and yeah, then maybe I'll get out all the gold that we found in New York at the end of last year and so far the beginning of this year. Let me do that and get all this sucked up here real quick, and I'll show you the gold that we find in New York. Okay, there it is. There's our snuffer dump from, that's the New York gold from the end of last year and right through the winter and the beginning of this year. Not too bad. There's other places that have more gold in New York, and a lot of places have a lot less, so we don't do too bad around here. That's a couple, 3 or 4 months at the end of last year, the beginning of this year. Not too bad. Okay, guys and gals, thanks for stopping in and sticking around. Not sure what we'll do next time, as always, but we'll get out and have some kind of fun. Like this video if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't. Doesn't cost anything. Leave a message. I like reading your guys' comments. And until next time. Oh, by the way, before we get out of here, I just ordered some more stickers. They're a little bit smaller than those ones. First ones I ordered, I ordered them a little too big. Next ones are going to be a little bit smaller. They're on their way. Holler if you want one. Okay. Until next time. Have fun.